Welcome back to Aki Ia Jazz, and we're coming to you from the 32nd Annual Festival International de Jazz de Montréal. One of the interesting things about jazz is there are so many instruments you'd never think work in a jazz context, but which have been made by exceptional players to work very, very well. Here in Montreal, the programmers are astute, and they're on to the fact that unusual jazz instruments should be introduced to the public. A great example would be tonight. Banjo player Bella Fleck in his original lineup is performing with the Flecktones. But even more interesting than that, I think, we have what is possibly the first major ukulele player in the jazz music idiom. I'm pleased to be sitting here with JAKE Shimabukuro from Hawaii, who has taken up the ukulele and applied it into a jazz context unlike, I think, any other musician before him. So, Jake, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to be here, really.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Now, I know that the ukulele is regarded as integral to the sound of Hawaii. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the ukulele in your native state?
Well, it was patterned after a Portuguese instrument called the bragina. When the Portuguese immigrants came over to Hawaii, they brought their instruments with them, and the Hawaiians kind of saw that, and they wanted to start building instruments like that. So they taught the Hawaiians how to build these instruments, and that's how we got the ukulele.
Wonderful. When now you started playing when you were very young, didn't you?
Yeah, I started when I was 4 years old. I got into it because my mom played, and it was a lot of traditional Hawaiian music. You know, I mean, I grew up with traditional music there in the islands, so that was my first love. And you know, with traditional Hawaiian music, all you need to know is like 2 or 3 chords, and you can play hundreds of songs. So that's how I started out. And then later on, I got turned on to different styles of music. Bruce Lee was one of my heroes, you know, and you know how he was so open to all these different styles of martial arts. I thought, well, you know, these different styles of martial arts are just like different genres of music. So I wanted, from a young age, I wanted to be like that and kind of be very open to blues or jazz, classical music, Hawaiian, Japanese music, anything that I heard. Basically, I wanted to be open to it, and it's great. You know, I realized that all music that comes from all over the world is wonderful. They all have something special about it.
Well, let me ask you this. Incorporating these new genres, pop genres, and other kinds of music onto the ukulele, you must find that's a challenge. You're dealing with a 4-string instrument and a short fretboard. So how can you make these melodies happen on the ukulele in a way that has become so recognizable and distinguished by your style?
You know, it's tough sometimes, but the ukulele, the range of the ukulele is actually 2 octaves. You know, so you have 4 strings and 2 octaves, but the lowest string is actually your 3rd string, because you have your 2 high strings on the outside and your 2 low strings in the middle. So you have your lowest string, which is middle C, and then you have 2 C's above that. So basically, if you sit in front of a piano, that's about that much of the keyboard. But most melodies, especially pop melodies, are all written, you know, within a 2-octave range. So as long as you find the right key to arrange the song in, you can pretty much cover the melody. I mean, sometimes it does extend out of the range of the ukulele, and then you have to somehow tastefully play that melody maybe an octave lower, or if it falls below, then you have to play it an octave higher. But you can make it work, you know, and I think the key thing is, well, it's not just making it recognizable, but the key thing is playing it with conviction. Because when you're dealing with an instrument like the ukulele, a lot of people don't take that instrument very seriously. So sometimes, you know, just playing the right notes is not enough. You know, you have to play it with the right spirit and the right energy and the right conviction to make people feel like, okay, wow, okay, this is a serious instrument.
Jake, that's what struck me when I was listening to a lot of this recorded material. Was these weren't covers per se; they were interpretations, they were renditions. Is that the feeling you had about them when you laid these tracks down?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's, you know, for me, I realized that the instrument, I think a lot of us forget sometimes that the instrument that we hold in front of us is really just the illusion. It's really just an illusion. The music, the expression all comes from inside. And so whenever you're covering a song or playing any song, you know, everything starts starts inside of you. I mean, before it's even played through the instrument, you're creating it internally. And so I think it's so important to be able to feel what you're playing. I mean, every note that you play, you know, you want to play it like it's the most important note of your life. And trying to apply that to every song and to every arrangement, you know, I mean, it's tough, you know, because it's hard to continuously play with that conviction, but that's the goal, you know. And then when you do that, I think you draw people in, you make people feel like they're a part of what's happening, and that's what music's all about. You know, music is all about communicating, bringing people together. And for me, even though if I'm on stage by myself, I mean, I don't look at it as a solo performance. You know, every ear, every mind that's out there listening and interpreting what I'm playing, they're part of the band because they're manipulating whatever I'm playing. They're interpreting what I'm saying or whatever I'm doing, and they're making sense of it. They're making music of it. They're bringing their own experiences, their own you know, just their own knowledge to whatever's happening, and so we're creating it together.
I hope everyone got that. Play each note as if it's the most important note you'll ever play in your life. Jake, that is just a great quote. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Jake Shimabukuro, and you're tuned in to Aki Ia Jazz. Aloha.